Good afternoon, Sherry. Good afternoon. This is Randy Carvin, and this is Rant and Randy's Rant for Tuesday, the 5th of April, uh, Cinco de Mayo today. Um, Thought I would start out with what's going on here locally. Yesterday, our dumbass governor, Parson, opened up the state again. And by today, Pancake City is taking customers on the inside of the restaurant. Uh, Grace and I rode around for a few minutes, checked out downtown. It looked like Baker's Barbecue. They had lights on that didn't necessarily mean they were open for business, but I imagine they were. All right, folks are showing up. Hello, Joe. Hello, Karen. All right, glad to see you. Uh, like I said, here in Kirksville, things have opened up. I saw it coming over the weekend to where less people are wearing masks. This bunch feels they're entitled to get out and sicken the whole population around here. This is after, and I'll touch on this again later. In St. Joseph, Missouri, 337 people, employees of the food processing plant there, have tested positive for COVID 19. They all tested positive, but yet they were asymptomatic. In other words, they wouldn't have known they were sick. This means community spread. This doesn't seem to concern these people here. They're thinking St. Joseph is so far to the west and south of us that it's not going to affect. I would not doubt that there are some in St. Joseph probably work in Macon County, uh, one county below Adair County, where Macon, Missouri is, where the plant where uh, my brother-in-law Les works right there in Macon, Missouri, and some of those may be employees all the way from St. Joseph. So we don't know. But here it's fun to be out and enjoy life like always before the virus. And the thing is, you people of Kirksville, if I find out that you have been to indoor dining, you are not wanted anywhere near me. If I find out that you have, that's it. You cannot come around Grace and I. We are not going to put up with this bullshit. We're still mostly staying at home. We will get out more. Like we were in the car. We had to stop at Murphy's. That's outdoors. So I'm cool with that. But as far as uh, going in stores, I noticed Walmart for a Tuesday is crowded. The parking lot's crowded with cars. It's back to normal here. And it's far too normal for you people to get out there without your mask. When I wear my mask, I am protecting you. I have rights too. You're not going to sicken me. And I want you to keep it in mind. I will tell you to back off if you get too close. I'm going to start trying to do a lot of the grocery shopping in the evening time. Hy-Vee is always down to maybe one, two customers and employees. The employees are wearing masks. In a lot of cases, the employees are also wearing gloves. They're looking out for us. Corporations will. As far as I was right across from McDonald's North here in Kirksville, they are not letting customers in. I imagine the same will be for Subway to the south of it. They have one in Walmart, and they also have a location on their own in South Kirksville. Dairy Queen, I can just about grant you, they are not letting in people to dine. These are the jerks that own restaurants right here in town. And I understand they had to close and they're anxious to reopen. But I also know that by being a customer of Pancake City, the ventilation system in that place is going to sicken others if they go in there asymptomatic, even if the employees are protecting you from them. That's not going to make a difference. There is not a booth or a table in there that there isn't an event that's going to be moving the air around from one table to another. Ah, shit. I almost forgot Donnie. Now that butthole is off to Arizona for the masks. Yeah, made by a private company that is going to make money off those masks. As he said in the past, they're a backup. We're the United States, but the federal government is the backup for the states. Give me a fucking break, you damn dumbass Donnie. What happened to your stockpile? Let's see. There were wildfires during your administration. There was hurricanes during your administration, and you chose not to restock the shelves for something like this to come along. Now the asshole, and I'm going to have to check out. I am getting overwhelmed by some of these PMs. I just have to tell you that now. In one case, and I saw the videotape where they talked about this on a right wing. I'm pretty sure it's a right wing conservative bullshit channel on YouTube. They were talking about in 2015, something like $3.7 million went to China from the Obama administration to look into coronavirus. Let's keep something in mind, you damn dumb Republicans. This coronavirus is novel. It was transferred, according to Dr. Fauci, from animals to man. That's not lab work. But Donnie's selling it as it came from a man-made from a lab. And he's going to use the 3.7, and Dr. Fauci, I guarantee you, Fauci's going to be Fauci is going to be hard pressed to keep his job after this because Donnie said they're looking into that. And of course, it was one of the conservative reporters at the back of the room that asked him the question if he knew about it. Let's see what else on Kirksville. Now, your banks here are still, you have to go to the drive-through to get any banking services. I'm glad to see that. They've got enough sense to know that our governor had no business lifting things. If they felt safe, the bank that I use, they would unlock the front door and let people in. They're not doing it. McDonald's, you still have to drive through to get your food. And I worry about that. How long is that going to be good? Because if any of their employees are going to sit down restaurants, I would rather not eat their food because they could be asymptomatic in there spreading it in McDonald's, in these other drive-throughs for all the restaurants like Dairy Queen and everything else. I'm not getting around this disease because I am not going to die from it. Let me go back to the beginning of my thing. I think I covered that on how many employees in the plant in St. Joseph. Doesn't seem to concern the people here. They seem to think they're invincible to it. They don't have to worry about getting sick. And there's good news out there. Three of the temporary hospitals well, one of them was the Comfort. The ship went back to port at Virginia, and two of the temporary uh, hospitals, the one in Central Park is only taking new patients, uh, and the other one is closing down. I think that was Javits Center. So they're closing that one down. And we are all thankful uh, for the Army Corps of Engineers, but that's the kind of thing they do. Donnie didn't like the idea, but the Army Corps of Engineers was able to engineer hospitals all over, temporary hospitals during this crisis. Uh, and Governor Andrew Cuomo, I'd like to see him vice president if he doesn't want to run for president. In New York State, to nursing homes with uh, coronavirus, if the nursing home is overwhelmed, New York State Health Department will move the patient to a hospital. They will find room for them. I haven't heard about any other states willing to do this. And I wanted to get to this story right away. Starting on page one, the CDC was promoting the model from the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation because Trump liked them. They just yesterday, and this is from Cuomo, new model forecast 134,000 U.S. deaths by August. Okay. The CDC was one that Trump liked because he liked that they came up with the 40 to 70, 50 to 60,000 deaths. They, in a 2-day period, when that organization changed their model to 134,000 US deaths by August, the CDC is now working for Trump. They dropped that model from the website like a hot potato. So now we know the CDC is in Donnie's pocket too. That's shameful. That is downright scary. And Rachel said last night the news spread will be in rural areas all over the country. And it's growing the fastest in rural areas because of the meat packing plants and the nursing homes in those little towns are getting infected. And like I said, and I just wrote down some notes below that about St. Joseph, Missouri, and we'll go on because I already told you that story. And this is page 2. Governor Parson reopened state yesterday. This is insane, but this is a red state. What can you expect? I don't even think I'm going to find out today. I don't even think Missouri was under a stay-at-home order for 30 days, and they're already opened up. And the idiots here decided, oh, it's time to have the family reunion. And I imagine in Walmart and every other place they can think of, you can all get together and hug and blow each other kisses, no mask, don't need that anymore. Going back to normal life because of Donnie. Here it will be in the nursing homes. We have Twin Pines, and we have an assisted living facility right next door to Twin Pines. We also have Kraft Foods here in Clarksville, Missouri. And the other one, Kirksville Manor, already had 4 people that tested for. One was the doctor, a doctor working with a cancer center here, made a couple of trips to uh, Africa on a regular basis. He tested positive, and 3 people in the nursing home, 2 of them were roommates, tested positive for COVID-19. This is community spread. This is what's happening. I don't even know any of the rules now at those nursing homes as to whether relatives can visit patients in those facilities. But I know one thing, there's going to be sicker people in the Kirksville area because the damn governor, about time to go out and fetch a rope and hang some of these governors in red states. I'm pissed. Uh, and last night we found out there was no testing in Congress before reconvening. Convening. This is all about McConnell insisted on yesterday as the opening to confirm appointments like Radcliffe, the one that the Republicans were against during the time that the impeachment trial was going on. Uh, and let's see. And it's all about judges. They want to get all the judges, right wing nut jobs. And it doesn't matter whether they have any experience. They've got to be there when Donnie has to fight for his life about a crooked election. And Trump administration limits coronavirus task force members from testifying at congressional hearings. The only one he's allowing is Dr. Fauci. That I think is going to come back to bite him in the butt. But that means the Democrats won't get a chance to ask questions. And after seeing Fauci on Cuomo last night, he's not political, but he tells it like it is. If he could do so in the House, Democrats could ask in the majority questions that are relevant. Republicans are going to avoid all that in the Senate. President Trump, this is Chuck Schumer. President Trump should learn by muzzling science and truth, it only prolongs this health and economic crisis. And I already mentioned about the right wing nominees for judgeships. And like I said, they're right wing nuts. Nothing about COVID-19. Schumer said last night, we are here to do COVID legislation. And they're going to keep on insisting on it. But unfortunately, there are going to be bad appointments like Radcliffe to the federal government, and also right wing nut jobs getting the judgeships. And here's a novel idea that I saw on Rachel last night, and it sounds very feasible for this country since they don't want to do a lot of testing. In Europe, they test wastewater in the sewer as early detection for future outbreaks. You do that in cities, you can get a heads up on what community spread is going on because everybody uses a toilet. And today, Trump comes out putting down the House as out to keep him from being reelected. They will not be successful. And he talked about Maxine Waters and the new committees in the House. They're out to get him. Not without just cause. They're after you, Donnie, and you know it. So you got to start spreading the bullshit on. And this morning he was out asking the press if they've been tested. And I think he was talking to Fox. Well, I'll take your word for it. And he was also claiming that we're losing people because of the stay-at-home order, that they're killing themselves. Yeah, I'm sure because they had to stay home, they're just going to start killing themselves. And like I said, Fossey will be able to testify to the Republican majority Senate, but not in the House. That flies against checks and balances in our Constitution, by the way. All right, I'm going to make this one a fairly quick one compared with some of mine. Basically, on the other thing that I was speaking of, the pandemic and the president, we all basically know that in, let me look, in mid-April, March to mid-April, in a few occasions, on a few dates, he was doing what he was supposed to, but it never seems to get done after he says so. The day before, that he basically was warning that it was going to be a tough 2 weeks. He was lashing out at healthcare workers about masks, asking where were they going out the back door. Remember that? Not knowing that it takes a lot of masks when you have a pandemic going on, you damn dumbass. Now he's down there. He'll have a little pep rally. An Arizona plant is making masks. And again, this morning he was downplaying the models, projecting significant death increases. He didn't like the model, so he told the CDC, get it off your damn website. And that's about all I got today. Like I was saying, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed. I'm going to go through here and thank everybody for coming. But sometimes even I get a little overwhelmed. I have a lot of media, and don't get me wrong. I want people to keep something in mind because there's something I'm going to be researching very soon. Right now, nobody would believe it. You would think I was a conspiracy nutcase if I talk about it. But keep in mind, everybody in media is going to be a little bit biased because of the advertisers, and they want to keep their jobs. And the big corporations are who owns all this media. You need to keep that in mind too. Sometimes you can pick out the bullshit from any of them, and I'm talking all of them. They're not giving you the full truth in a lot of matters, and that's just the nature of the asshole we're dealing with, and the big corporations, the fascists that are, along with Donnie, that are taking over our country. We soon are rapidly, we got a full blown dictator on our hands. We're soon not going to be a democratic republic. We're going to be a republic only. under a dictatorship. All right, let's see. Hello, Virginia. Hello, Homer's Reluctant Honesty. Hello, D. Hello, Brian. Let's see. Let me see if I can scroll up. I was wondering whether I was going to even see you out in my little blue room because I changed photographs and I'm sure it's still showing my high school. But when I did so, I couldn't tell if anybody was going to be able to see me, wouldn't didn't know whether I would see you out here in text. Chat in the blue room. And said, "Oh, hello to Sherry." Let's see who else we got. And I said hello, Joe and Karen. All right, pretty good number out there. We're showing 11, and there's not 11 here in the chat, so I'm getting out to more uh, than I know that a lot of people don't get to comment. I wish I could tell you why. I don't know why. But I am thankful to those that are faithful and are here every time I'm out on this. We're at 147. I want to build it up bigger than that for the Blue Dot family. I'm having a problem with right now. That's the reason I asked for your cards, letters, and your donations. You can send me a personal messenger and I can get the address out to you. My P.O. box, I don't put it out there anymore. That will be ending on 531. Like I said, I'm staying the hell home as much as I can. And anything that you do for me with PayPal or finding out my home address through personal messenger is not a requirement. This is the Blue Dot family, and it is our YouTube channel. It's not mine, it's yours too. And I'm going to keep doing this, but every now and then, like I've said, I've got a problem with the electric company. I was using their website to pay. Now they've got me locked out of it, telling me I've got the wrong password. Uh, and it is real fun trying to call Amarin and get through. Uh, Everything's automated and they don't want to talk to you in person. But if they're going to get their money on time this time, which I think was yesterday or today, it ain't going to happen. And I'm under a budget billing agreement already. Can't help it. If I can't pay it, I'm not going to pay them $5 to send the money by Western Union. There's no sense in that with a debit card. It's just another way they can make money for other corporations. Fascist bullshit's what it's about. All right. I will let you. Oh, didn't get anything to drink before I came on here. Still got people checking in. Hello, Mary from West Virginia. And I think that about gets it. And tomorrow, I want to promise you something right now. What I'm going to do is start out early enough on my 6 p.m. Facebook show tomorrow. I'm going to try to get back the original version. I like it a lot better because looking in a little box about this big over in this corner is irritating as hell. And I'm used to looking at me straight on. I feel like I'm talking to you when I can look at it straight on. On there, I'm having to look down in the corner and then go to what I'm reading over here, and it's not working. But every time I try to switch back, it throws me right back. I have to put all the information for the title and everything back in again because it keeps trying to throw me and make me use that new version that I hate. And if I had better fellowship here, I could count on you people, you blue dots, to show up here in more numbers. That's the reason I'm working so hard with Facebook because I get about twice as many people on Facebook as I get on YouTube. But I'm just about to the point. I enjoy what I do here. It's the way I started out doing these things on Facebook and YouTube. And I enjoy it here because I can see what I'm doing when I'm on camera. But like I said, I'll try to straighten that out tomorrow. Ran a little longer than I wanted to right now. Uh, but I do appreciate your time. I appreciate all the efforts that you make in personal messenger, sending me information. Sometimes I'm going to have to research it a little before I'm going to bring it on here and talk about it on either YouTube or Facebook. I appreciate you coming today. I look forward to doing my show tomorrow around 6 p.m. I want you to know that I love this Blue Dot family. I love being an American. We can change this somehow. What we've got to hope for and fight for by calling 202 224 3121. Keep bugging Congress. We have to get something done there about stimulus and helping out the people of America because the Republicans ain't going to do it. They don't give a shit. They just want the orange turd back in the White House. All right, I'll let you go. Have a good one. Peace. Resist, persist, and insist. Keep calling Congress. Let them know how you feel. It's not a time to be in the streets, but when it comes voting day, if I have to risk my health, I will take to the voting booth. I will be there regardless of what's happening in this country. I want that man out, and I'm sure you do too, and we'll get it done. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Share this shit, America. Let's get it out there. Bye bye now. Share this shit.